This is the video solution of the practical part of XM3 Advanced Data Analysis. Okay, we start with, first of all, you should go to ubz01fst. Now I'm working from my home, so it will look a little different. However, this is what you should type. Okay. Courses, so not XM's courses, XM Coletti. You find a long list of names, locate yours, enter, and copy all the files that you have on your desktop. Typically your desktop, in this case I have copied them on a subdirectory of my desktop, since my desktop is a little chaotic. So in this case I have only one file, I copy it. Okay, it will not be harmful for my computer. Okay, it's a good idea to copy them and not work here, because the connection may go down during the exam. Now we start with MySQL. Connect to MySQL server using HeidiSQL. Okay, so I imagine you have HeidiSQL either as a shortcut here, as I do, or on your desktop. Well, if you don't, at exam it's a little too late to install it, and okay. So on Alcor, you digit your password. Okay. Now be sure to use the right database Northern 2003 free. So I double click. Okay. Build a query which writes the list of orders shipped by shipper called Speedy Express. Okay, with the customer address, city and country, and which shipped year. Okay, let's do it slowly. So query, select, so order ID, well, from orders, order ID, shipped by shipper called Speedy Express. Okay, so we'll need a condition on the shipper. Okay, with the customer address, customer's address, city and country, customers, city, I put every time the name of the table. It's not mandatory. You could write address, city and country, but in this way the drop-down menu comes automatically, and it will help me avoiding mistyping. And with the shipped year, calculated from shipped date. So year, which is a function, orders, shipped date. Okay. From, let's see from what? Well, we need table orders, customers, and shippers, so we have to join the three tables. I will start joining orders with shippers. So open parenthesis, orders, inner join shippers on orders dot ship via equal to shippers dot shipper ID, and this is the first one. Then inner join, I inner join with customers on orders dot order ID equal to customers. No, it's wrong. The inner join is done on orders dot customer ID equal to customers dot customer ID. Okay, for the moment I display everything, then I will put a condition. Let's see first of all. Okay, now let's put the condition where shippers ship company name equal Speedy Express. Let's see, 249 rows as specified here, so I can rely that it's correct. Now it's a good idea to save it. Save as, you locate your desktop, you locate XM directory, because I use XM directory, northwind.sql. Okay, now the second one, select, Build a query which writes the list of suppliers, each one with the average of prices calculated on non-discontinued products with unit in stock larger than 5. So it's a summary query. Select suppliers company name. The average of prices, so AVG products unit price from, I have to inner join suppliers with product, suppliers inner join products on suppliers dot supplier ID equal products dot supplier. Okay, and now we have to put the condition. Before I test it, I remind you that you have to select and run only the selection. Ah, okay, I didn't group by suppliers. Well, you could group by supplier ID or by company name. It's the same in this case. So we have a condition on products must be non-discontinued and unit in stock larger than 5. So I put the condition with where you products unit in stock larger than 5 and products discontinued equal to 0. Okay, let's see whether the condition works. Error. The error is because the condition, I think, must go before the grouping. Let's see now. 28 rows. Okay, correct. So I save. Third one, build a view called with your surname which lists the employees, last name and home phone. So rather easy. The only thing you have to do is create view per Coletti or surname, so Coletti. Be sure to be in Northwind 2003 free, which lists the employees. So as select last name home phone from employees. So rather straightforward. Okay. Well, no result. However, I want to check that the view really exists, so I have to refresh the database. Remember that you have to refresh it several times to convince HeidiSQL to really refresh it. Fresh. Okay, finally. Okay, you can see the view here. Okay, let's take a look at this view. Its result. Okay, the view is correct. Now remove this thing and save. Use now database exam. So there's a database exam I imagine here. Yes, it's here. Write a query which automatically modifies the table ABC, removing all the records with units on order equal to 0. Do not try to execute the query. Table is locked to avoid it. Okay, I had to lock it because otherwise the first one who does the query changes everything. You either double click on exam or type use exam. In order to be... Okay, now I'm using the table exams. Don't ask me why all the colors have changed. Okay. This to be sure to use table exam, to use database exam. Okay. Okay, pay attention, it's not a modification query, it's the deletion query, so delete from ABC where units on order equal to 0. Okay, now you should not execute it. You don't have the permissions to do it in TextExam. I do have the permission, so I will try just to check whether it works. Okay, 60 rows affected, so I have deleted 60 rows. Now it's time to save for the last time. So save, since you have already saved in the right place. It's not a bad idea to check that there is really a file northwind.sql and to maybe open it with Notepad just to check that everything is inside. Okay, now finally you can switch off and close Heidi. Let's go to R exercise. I remind you that R may crash. If it crashes, it's up to you to solve it, especially R commander. Okay, you must know all the manual commands. It happened to me when I tried to solve this exam that it crashed and had to rely on manual command. Okay, let's open it. First thing of all, I load R commander. Then I set the working directory, which is always a good idea to the directory. Okay. Fix it. Then I save it. So I saved the script file just to be sure that it's saved with the appropriate exam.r. Okay. Now load workspace exam.rdata. Oh, to load workspace, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be possible from here, so I will load it from here. Okay, now we have the workspace. Build a new vector A containing numbers from 1 to 100. Modify it, replacing all the numbers between 20 and 30 with an A. So 1 to 100, very simple. Okay, let's see because I don't trust myself. Okay, now I have to modify it, replacing all the numbers between 20 and 30 with an A. Well, there are several ways to do it. The easiest one is this one. Okay, so I set A with A smaller than 20 and well, end condition I think is like this: A, sorry, larger or equal than 20 and A smaller or equal to 30. I set it to an A. Okay, I got an error. Okay, the problem here is that I've used the wrong parenthesis, because this is the parenthesis for function. For arrays I must use the square bracket. Let's see whether it works. Let's see. Okay, between 20 and 30. Okay, I think we have done it. It's a good idea to save the workspace with exam.rdata. Yes, and also save the script with exam.r. Okay. Build function called sum from 2, which accepts as input two numbers start and end and calculates the sum of the square of the number between start and end. So suppose here that you have completely forgotten how to build functions. So you would look at the slides that I imagine you have printed. Function. Okay. So there are wonderful examples here. Okay, so you just copy and paste a part of the example. Okay, the function here is called sum from 2, requires start end. Okay, the sum of the squares of the numbers between start and end. So you have to build up a for loop for I in start colon end. Okay, inside the for loop, well, you need also a function sum, which as a variable sum, which you set it equal to 0. Inside the for loop, what do you do? Well, sum equals sum plus I. Plus I squared. And the square in R, if I remember correctly, is this thing here. Close all the parentheses. We have to write return sum. Do you write it like this? Yes. Now return sum between round parentheses. Okay. Let's see whether it is accepted. Okay, we have also to check. I would like also to check that it really works. For example, 1 and 3, it should give me 1 plus 4 plus 9. It's 14. 14. Okay. So it really works. I saved the script. Okay. Build function average limited, which accepts as input a vector v and a number l, and returns the average of the elements of v which do not exceed l. So I will try to solve it following my hint, and then I will see whether there is an alternative here. Average limited function v l. Okay, let's start. Well, I have to calculate the average, so sum equal to 0, count equal to 0. For v in, well, first of all, as I write here, I recreate v2, which is equal to v, but without all the elements which are larger than L. So this should work. So in this way I remove from V all the elements which are larger than L. Okay, and I put the result in V2. Now for V in V2, so I go through all the elements in V2. Well, sum equals sum plus V, count equal count plus 1. And I think we have done. Let's see. I submit it. Well, in order to check it, I have to average limited of C3 5 24 comma the limit set to 10. I should therefore calculate the average between 3 and 5, which is 4. Let's see. No result. In fact, I don't return anything here. Return sum divided by count. Okay, so I submit this one, and I resubmit this one. Okay, 4. So the function works. Let's leave this one for your solution. 3,5 25, and the limit set to 20. Okay. Now let's see an alternative. An alternative could be something like this. We call it average limited 2. Okay, instead of doing this thing here, I very simply do for v in v2 in v of v smaller than r. Okay, so directly. Let's see whether it works. It works. Or we call it alternative. So the people who will look at the exam in the future will realize that it's an alternative solution. Okay. We leave some spaces between the exercises. I save my script. Okay. Convert numeric variable people to factor variable people and then display its levels. So people 2 and then displays its levels. So people 2 factor people. Well, I don't think there is anything else to do. levels people true. Okay, while people is a little different. Okay, if you want people true, it looks like this. Okay, well, you can display its levels or simply calling people true. Okay, load the dataset US serials from package mess. So to be very sure, I save everything as usual. Saving often is a good idea to avoid losing everything. Okay, so data in packages from package mess US serial. Okay, export dataset US serial to text file US serial.txt with semicolon separator and with headers. So where is the export? Data, maybe it's here, import, not for sure, data and packages, no, active dataset, export here. So write variable names, yes, row names, not I didn't tell anything, so let's don't write it. Other, semicolon, okay, the name of the file, usl.txt, it comes up automatically, save. Okay, to be very sure, I check, well, okay, it's exported. Record variable US serials carbo, so carbo inside US serial, into variable carbo2 as. Okay, and there are some instructions. Well, I don't specify whether the recording must be done inside the dataset or outside the dataset. So for me, it doesn't matter. Otherwise, I would specify it. So record, I think it's here. Record. So carbo 2. Do I have to make it into factor? Yes, into factor variable. Okay, record directive. Okay, so low 20 equal 1 low. Okay, so I don't remember exactly how the record directive work, but you have the slides exactly for this thing. So you can see the slides, how do they work. So you have to put a quotation, for example, which I had forgotten. Okay. So below 20, okay, let's see, 20, 30 equal. $25, sorry, not 30, 25. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see the variable. Okay. Some numbers were not recorded correctly. You can see these levels should not even exist. Okay, probably the ones of you who had studied have immediately recognized the error. It's here. So it's in this record directive here. 0-20, it's 0 colon, sorry, low colon 20, 25 colon high, and 20 colon 25. Okay, this is the error. Yes, now let's see it again. Okay, now let's delete everything which was wrong so the professor doesn't correct wrong things. Okay, bin variable fibre into factor variable fibre2 using 4 bins and ranges as labels into ordered factor. So have to use the binning the instruction specified to use natural breaks, so natural breaks, ranges, fibre 2, 4 beans, okay, everything is fine. Okay, the only disadvantage at using this thing is that it doesn't create an ordered, but it creates a factor, so you have to put a wonderful ordered here and re-execute it. Okay, now it's unordered. Okay. Display an appropriate graph to show the relation between calories, fat, and vitamins. So 3 variables, 2 of them, calories and fat, are scale, vitamins is clearly nominal. So the appropriate graph is, as you can easily see from here, the scatter plot. Calories, fat, and plot by groups of vitamins. But nothing is required special, so you can plot it in this way. But if you want, you can remove the extra things, but it's not required, I repeat. So where's the scatter plot? To remove the extra things, marginal box plot, and things that I don't ask for. Okay. Okay, exam is over. Now remember to save the script, save the workspace. Be sure to have saved it because, okay, close R. We have already saved everything. Close everything. No. Okay, check that you have everything. Okay, all the files, and now copy all the files back. You copy them back here. Probably Windows will ask you whether you want to overwrite the files which are already existing. You say yes. Okay, and exam is over. Display an appropriate graph to show the relation between nominal variable MFR and sodium. So sodium is a scale variable, it is rather obvious. MFR is nominal variable, it's written, so the appropriate graph that we have studied, it's the box plot by groups. So here, box plot, sodium, plot by groups, MFR. Okay, and you have done it. Okay, you don't need to save it, it's not required. You can go on.